Well, based. We should we should all be able to legally own a flamethrower. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and other people of the caliber, the certain caliber. Because of my reading comprehension is zero, we're gonna look at something kind of cool that I came across the internet. I don't know if it's true or not. But we'll let the internet decide later. The title is not a bait. It is not a meme. It is not a. It's not a ha ha funny. You could say. Apparently, it is real gamer girl news, as they would like to tell you. Oops. Oopsies. I have to go find. I have to find the post. Here we go. So apparently it's called Frost. Fingerprinting remotely using OpFS based SSD timing. An unfortunate time to be a speed and SSD enjoyer, as you could say. So malicious actors can now use your. This is from the International, Gay Cyber Defense Team. It's a real organization. Malicious actors can now use your SSD's activity just by getting you to open their website to spy on which other sites you are browsing and which apps are running. The attack is called Frost. It is accurate to 88.95% on identifying websites and 95% on identifying applications. It works on Mac OS, Linux, across browsers, and runs entirely in JavaScript. Another reason to hate JavaScript, guys. Remember, JavaScript is the enemy. You should always find a way to disable JavaScript. I would love to watch, but I can't spend open-ended time. Can you just summarize the topic, 15 minutes maybe? Edit this into shorts? Yeah, for sure. I might clip them into shorts at some point. Maybe. I would have to have the will and the knowledge to know how to do this. I hate editing. That's my problem. Maybe I could find a way to cut these lives into, or make a shorts channel and use the power of AI. Or listen to me in the background on your hour commute to your office, where you're going to get Burger Time. What are we talking about? Apparently, there is a exploit called Frost, fingerprinting remotely using OpenFS based SSD timing. What a bad time to want and use an SSD. I have 4 of them in my PC right now, so I'm cooked. So just so you know that I don't know how true this is, but remember, it's always JavaScript. JavaScript's always the issue. The Gemini protocol was the answer. We no longer have the based sites that we can visit without JavaScript. As a JavaScript hater, I understand. It's always JavaScript or some crazy exploit that. I mean, this probably won't affect the vast majority, but it is good to know that it is a threat. Maybe we should go. If this can't happen on hard drives, maybe we should go back to spinning Rust. A high-level overview is Frost attack. Is the attack measures SSD connection caused by the victim's activity by performing random reads on large OPFS file. This results the timing across traces are analyzed to fingerprint the activity. Huh. Oh, okay, so it's the same. Maybe we can figure out what OPFS does. Good. I only use good. I only use hard drives. It's a good day to be a hard drive enjoyer, I guess. Which is that this is kind of crazy. Wow. Apparently they all knew. Guys, just open up 100 tabs and see if they can figure it out. A good day to have lots of RAM. Researchers at Graz University of Technologies developed the attack. It abused the Origin private file system, a browser feature that lets sites store files on your disk without asking. The attacker creates one huge file and then constantly times how fast it can read from. When you open another tab or launch another app, the connectivity competes for the same SSD, and the tiny changes in read speed leak what you're doing. A trained neural network turns those things into timing patterns and into guesses about which site or app it is. They're on Gunner.com, guys. This is actually kind of fucking insane. If you think about it, the fact that they could do this. Again, remember, JavaScript is always the issue. Something that I will beat into the ground. But we're going to read this paper because it's not super long. Oh, maybe I lied. Oh, it's 23 pages. I forgot. We can skim the boring stuff. Because this seems kind of interesting. I mean, it's crazy about the SSD because for me, I think this is not that secure than HSD now. I see evidence. I mean, is crazy about the SSD because for me, I think is not that secure than HD. Um, I mean, it kind of depends. Like, well, technically, SSDs do have a problem when you can't technically you can't securely erase an SSD. They always just say encrypt the drive and throw away the key because of the way that it like stores like the blocks or something. It's completely. I believe HDs don't have this problem, and you can just honestly. I mean, you should just. You're better off just never selling your drives. Just keep them in a corner or something and crush them or whatever. It's 5 a.m. Sorry, if I write wrong, it's okay. Prior work showed that variations in SSD access time can be used to leak information about user activity, the website users access, and for covert data transmission. To achieve this, SSD contention side channels are required accurate high resolution timing measurements of the I/O operations. Though through the I/O yearning kernel API, another API issue apparently. However, the impact of these attacks is limited in the requirements for native code execution on the victim system. In this paper, we show you that SSD contention side channels can be mounted by a remote attacker from within the browser, which is insane, without native code execution. Our attack Frost targets the origin private file system in API in JavaScript, allowing us to create and access files on a disk within the browser's sandbox environment, while a challenge in prior work was to evict the OS page cache. We devised an approach that instead bypasses the page cache, enabling fast SSD contention measurements from the JavaScript without any user interaction. To evaluate the effectiveness of Frost on Mac OS and Linux, we built a covert channel that exfiltrates data from the native application to the malicious website with a true channel capacity of 66% bit on the Linux machine and 891.77-bit on a Mac OS machine. To evaluate Frost in a side channel scenario, we mount a website and an application fingerprinting attack of users on Mac OS systems. We can predict access websites with a F1 score of 88.95% and access applications with an F1 score of 95.83%, demonstrating that the privacy implementations our attack has on a regular user. Unfucking real and unbased of JavaScript to also exist. Okay. Where'd you go? Okay. Introduction. Web browsers have evolved from simple document viewers into complex, forms capable of running sophisticated applications. Companies like Google and Microsoft and Adobe have developed full-fledged Office Suite photos and video editors, or even integrated developed IDEs that run entirely within the browser. You can actually run a browser, an operating system in the browser. The browser has gotten so complex, and so JavaScript has always been bad and always will be. True. What is bro typing? Yeah, JavaScript sucks. I just when I have like thoughts, I put them on the internet because it's funnier versus me writing it down. I just post. Twitter will eventually be my funny diary that I can look at, 50 years from now. And I would say that okay. Um, all right. There we go. Bro is gonna be 150 years. That'd be kind of based. I would love to be 150 years old. That would be sick. Yeah, I definitely. GG's. That'd be sick, actually. So, web browser evolved, IDs, blah, blah, blah. New APIs and features are constantly added to browsers to support these complex applications, e.g., to support it. Devices access via the web USB, expose graphical capabilities via web GPU, or provide persistent storage via the file system access API. While these features enhance the capabilities of web applications, they allow completely novel use cases. They also increase the browser's attack surface, and some have already been shown to introduce new vulnerabilities. This is true. Web browsers have completely been bloated to the point where you kind of don't have you don't have really a choice to not update your browser because your browser is such a huge attack surface, and your web view it is like all these important components because they show a threat is kind of a problem. And this is why when people add on all these extensions, you are adding another layer of attack surface, and you're becoming more fingerprintable. And the stuff that you remove makes you more fingerprintable. When you disable certain things, when you change your resolution, when you do add all these things or change all these things, you are making yourself more fingerprintable, but you're reducing your attack surface. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's not the most ideal. Fingerprinting is so good that this is why if Vanadium's browser came out, the one that's made by Graphene OS, not every browser would benefit from the environment that it's built in, in a sense. But it would also, if they made it where you can't change, or they make it explicitly and make the user understand that changing anything reduces increases your fingerprintability and reduces your privacy to a certain degree. We don't really have a lot of good options out there. Firefox, owned by Mozilla, is a pile of shit, and people can keep recommending. I'm using Firefox now, but that's I'm just too lazy to compile Brave right now. I will by next week. I know people fucking shit on Brave, but Brave is pretty based. It uses a good. I like Brave and Secure Blue. Trident, Trivent, Trivalent browser. I think they're good, and I do like the what is it? I think what's that one browser that I used that was completely GNU? Brave overlay distribution binaries, as far as I know. Oh, yeah, I did Firefox bin, and it did it pretty fast. What is it? Secure Blue is goaded. It is. I don't like Firefox. Yo, wanna browse the hidden service I'm making? Um, sure. Oh, is it a Tor? I don't have Tor yet. I couldn't get Tor to work for whatever reason. Secure Blue is definitely a good project. I think it's highly underrated, but it's not for me. I don't like Fedora. I like I like Fedora more than I like Debian, but that's really about it. Um, what is that one browser? I think it was IceCat. I mean, you can link it, and I'll look at it. Achoo! When people tell me about their hidden services, I'm more wary of putting it live because I don't want to. I don't want to. GNU Libre JS, while technically an extension rather than links, highly customizable text-based browser. Boo. I guess CentOS was good. Yeah. Yeah, CentOS was good. Thanks, fucking IBM. Another fucking reason why I hate acquisitions in the Linux space. Honestly, another reason I hate when acquisitions buy fucking FOSS companies and just drive them into the fucking ground. But CentOS was good, but in 2012, guys. Yeah, CentOS was great. I used it. I thought about switching to Rocky Linux, but I was like, I'm good. I think it was GNU IceCat, yeah. They say Rocky Linux is like CentOS, but it's not. It's not. I used it a couple times. And I'm like, eh. I like OpenSUS. NB talks about nobody talks about Hunix. Hunix is great. It's an excellent tool and resource. I gotta switch my fucking search as well. Um, Hunix, I guess like the problem with Hunix is the fact that you have to set up like two virtual machines. That's really it. I mean, it Tails. I think Tails would be more ideal for someone to grasp and then go to Hunix. Kick Secure is okay, but I think because I mentioned Kick Secure, guys, that code is he's gonna emerge from somewhere. He's gonna feel it. That's what a person would say that logs. That's not. Gen 2 is good. Never. Yeah, I love Gen 2. It's the fastest Penguin, I believe, in terms of actual speed. But before my ADHD kicks in, guys, we're going back. It's kind of crazy, and I didn't even know it. This isn't like a brag or a flex or anything, but I didn't realize one of my lives got like 10,000 views somehow, and I don't know why. It's kind of funny. This is how bad revenue is. Well, I believe it's like $18 or something. It's like $20 or something like that. 10,000 views, hour stream, 10 golden Monero dollars immediately, pre-tax and fees. So if you're looking to be a content creator, don't rely on ad revenue. I would never consider doing this. I would never do this as like actual full-time job. It'd be fucking retarded. Even with like you have to multiply your income and your streams, and it's just it seems like it's a. I know there's people out there. If we keep getting off topic, we'll end up talking about Frost in 2 hours. Hell yeah, baby, that's the goal. Maybe I should get on ADHD medication so I can lock in. Where is it? All right, 1 second. Okay. What do you think about the retards swapping their XMR to USDC? Whew. It's kind of dumb. I mean, there's so many better. Look, actually, so I thought about this earlier. If some before I go back to okay, last thing, and then I'm going back to reading. Try I don't know what that word is. Try Artemisia annua. It sounds fake. Um, if I had a specific amount of Monero, which I don't because it's illegal and I would never, commit crimes. If Monero, it's a plant. Oh, okay. I'll look it up later. If I had a specific amount of Monero and and that Monero reached a level that would pay off like a very huge purchase, like my house or XYZ, or allows me to buy a house or allows me to be financially secured, and I swap it to fiat to pay for that house, I see no inherent problem with that. I am bypassing the banking system in a sense because I made the risk and the assessment that this is currency, and if I could find someone accept it directly, it would be better. I think if you take Monero at its core functionality, that it is private by design, well, you know, would it be more ideal if institutions took it? Yes. Is it going to happen overnight? No. But Monero's, track record is, you can just look at it. I'm not a Monero price person. The I'm on the there's a better site, but it's not important. That actually looks at. But if you look at Monero's all-time high, like all time, you would have had to buy here or here, really. And if you would have held the volume, they say that Monero's site, Monerica, they have a site that's like a price thing that shows like the actual. They say that their market cap is everyone else's market cap is wrong. People are bullish on it, of course. It's whatever. But if you would have sold here, say you would have had, I think they said if you would have vested like 10,000 in Monero, you would be, and you were here, you would have sold at the top like about 700. It actually was at 7 something. This is inaccurate. It got to like 700 as an all-time high. Max supply infinite is kind of incorrect. It's because people are going to see max supply infinite, and they're going to think that, well, where does the value come from? But you have to understand Monero's tail admissions and like the kind of the complexity of it. Monero is 15% up in a 24-hour, dramatically outperforming flat Bitcoin. Technical breakout above the 200-day moving average, confirmed by 35% surge in trading volume. Near-term market outlook: if XMR holds the 400 support zone, it could target the next resistance of 440. A failure to hold risk. This shit's so fake. Nobody knows where an asset's going to go. Monero's ability to become big and sexy comes from adoption and people having a problem with the system where they want to be private. And that comes from, and this is something that I'm going to beat as a dead horse when people come in or out of the chat forever. You need something to have it happen significant to you to change your opinion on why privacy matters. It does not have to be life-changing. It does not have to be dramatic. You don't have to lose somebody. Your balls don't have to be fucking ran over by an 18-wheeler truck. All you have to have is a life-changing event that makes you distrust the current system and distrust any form of public money. That's it. What do you think about digital social? Is an Argentinian government project that centralizes all the information on the topic and serves as an AI tool to anticipate social scenarios. Awful idea. Humans are inherently, you can't predictive social interaction is inherently systemically inherently prejudice to all people. You can't predict people based on who they associate with, or what they do, or where they live, or what they look like. This would segregate people by the government. The government would be doing some form of digital segregation, because then they'll score at you. Yeah, they're doing it with Palantir. Palantir can suck my balls too. Let that be known. When I'm in the I made fun of Palantir before it was a legal file list. Palantir is a threat to humanity, just like JavaScript. Palantir is the JavaScript of companies. It's scary. Because they get government contracts and they're used to work on the people. I don't understand why people are horny for it, or and this is my stance and will forever be my stance. Why are you looking at the price of XMR, bro? Oh, it's a long story. They want to have their own unit 8200 and more online power to control it. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not surprising. This is my stance. Palantir is a threat to private citizens. That's all. It's a useless company. I would rather live in a country where crime is at 5 million% than live in a surveillance state where you can't have thoughts, you can't criticize your government, you can't do anything that without feeling like you're being watched. That is not a country I want to live in. I don't care how much safer it makes me. It's not ideal. It's not great. Do I like crime? No. But what I like less crime is my tax dollars being paid into a system that is going to monitor its people 24/7. If somebody wants to smoke crack in the private, what do you mean, long story? You got 0xMR? Huh? Oh, it's a long story. We're looking at the price. I do have 0xMR. I would never hold it. It's illegal. It's illegal to own. But I would never. If somebody wants to smoke crack in their house or on the side street and it's illegal, I do not care. To me, it's not immoral to do drugs. It's not immoral to do things. If people commit crimes and they get caught doing the crime by the people that are supposed to, law enforcement, and it is a bad crime, what we would consider maybe immoral, I would in fact be okay with that because they are doing their job. In fact, fewer laws and higher crime rates balance each other out because the population keeps things in check. Yeah, laws have never deterred crime. We know this. The death penalty, some of the states have the highest and legal death penalty. Crime is still there. It does not deter people. It never has. This is why prohibition didn't fucking work. It creates crime. Making arbitrary, silly, I would say, clown laws only puts people in a position to do it more secretive. It's like should murder be still illegal? Yes. Should should unspeakable immoral things that we find not ethical as a society as a whole illegal? Yeah, for sure. And you get caught, you go to prison forever to the end of time. Not a crazy concept. That's my I think that's the general take is stealing wrong. Don't steal. You know? Fucking murder wrong. Don't do murder. Not good. The worst is the people that are like, well, where does these laws come from? Nobody likes it. Would you like it if someone stole from you? No. You don't need any outside force to tell you this. We're going to spy on the entire population and the entire internet is going to be in the image. Yeah, that's how it's going to work. All right, side rant over though. But I agree. Yeah, it's always going to be in the best interest of quote unquote child safety, which is fucking retarded. So, device access via web USB exposed graphical capabilities. Blah blah. The File System Access API allows web applications to request access to files and directories on the user's file system, enabling a complex applications such as IDEs, photo, video editors to run entirely within the browser with a native-like access to share the file system. This is why PWAs are kind of like, base, but like they're using an entire browser to work that way. PWAs are still base, though. Whenever a web application requests access to the file or directory, the user must explicitly grant access permissions in a browser dialog to enforce this selective access. The browser implements various security checks to ensure that the web application cannot access files outside of the granted scope. Meanwhile, the Origin Private File System, OPFS, provides a sandbox file system for each web origin, allowing web applications to store access files of the user's systems without requiring explicit permissions. The OPFS is isolated from other origins and the rest of the system, making sure that the web application cannot access files outside of their own OPFS storage. Because of this isolation access, OPFS files do not require many security checks as regular file access, resulting in increased performance. While SSDs are widely used both in servers and consumer systems, side-channel research targeting them is limited. Recently, Juffinger et al. Discovered that it is possible to exploit contents on an NVE SSD to build a covert channel and perform fingerprinting attacks. While their attacks are practical on a wide range of SSDs, are able to achieve high F1 scores, they do not require access to native low overhead interface, e.g. IOUR ring, and suggested the restricted access to these interfaces would hinder their attacks. In this paper, we introduced Frost, a side channel attack from the JavaScript that exploits OPFS to leak sensitive information from the browser without requiring any user interaction both on Linux and Mac OS. I wonder why they haven't talked about Windows. Maybe it's just it can't be exploited on Windows. That could be a possibility. Maybe they'll explain why too. That could be the answer. Guys, switch to Windows now. But this is only in SSD or 2 in M.2. Probably M.2. I don't see why not. The guy found an exploit in the NVE SSDs. The exploit the leak sets information from the browser without While OPFS restricts websites to only access their own storage and not the other system files, we discovered that overhead is low enough to enable SSD contention-based side channel attacks from within the browser. Using this low overhead interface, we achieved a covert channel throughput of 66, 661, 663 bits on Linux, comparable to the native performance reporting prior to work. Based on our findings, we introduced fingerprinting remotely using OPFS-based SSD timing, Frost, a novel remote side channel attack that uses SSD contention measurements from within the browser to fingerprint users' activity on a system. After tricking the victim into clicking malicious links, an attacker can monitor the victim's activity on the host system, such as websites visited, applications usage, without further interaction. We demonstrate Frost on macOS and achieved an F1 score of 88.95% on top 50 closed websites fingerprinting and 95% on application fingerprinting in a closed world setting. In an open world top 50 website fingerprinting attack, we achieved macro average F1 scope of 86.95%, demonstrating the practical impact of our attack. We discussed the impact of modern browser features on the side channel limitations of our work and possible defenses. In summary, our contributions are as follows. We are the first to demonstrate that the Origin private file system can be exploited remotely with JavaScript, in the browser to leak sensitive information from a victim's system without any user interaction. We exploit the OPFS to generate a measure of SSD contention on the victim's system building, a cross application to convert the channel with a capacity of 661.6.3 bits on Linux, almost matching native performance from prior work. And that kind of makes sense to pay attention to, because if your system is like overperforming or underperforming, you might quite literally be sussed out, is what I'm assuming. Almost matching native performance. And 891 bits on Mac OS. We present Frost as a remote SSD contention-based side channel attack that can be mounted from within the browser, exploiting the OPFS to monitor user activity on the victim's system without any user interaction. We demonstrate Frost effectiveness by mounting websites and application to fingerprint attacks, achieving an F1 score of 88.95% and 95.83%, respectively, in a closed world setting on macOS systems. In Section 2, we provide a background on the side channel attacks, SSDs, fingerprinting, and browser features. In Section 3, to describe our threat model. In Section 4, we know how we can measure SSD content from JavaScript without any interaction. In Section 5, we build a covert channel using SSD contention measurements, evaluating capacity with both OPFS and the regular file system access API. In Section 6, we present Frost and mount websites and application fingerprinting attacks. In Section 7, we discuss the impacts increasingly complex browser features and side channel attacks and mitigations related to work. We conclude in Section 8. Wow, this is actually kind of insane. It makes me want to turn off that M.2 and that SSD. You know what I'm saying? Go back to spinning Rust. Who the fuck would actually use X money? Yeah, this is crazy. Which is more as crazy as everyone do a quick beer sip or water sip. I embrace people that don't drink beer and drink water. In this section, we provide background and side channel text. What do you think about TalkChat? I've never personally used it. I don't know if they support perfect forward secrecy. It's cool. But my thing is when it comes to the messaging apps, you have to have a good messaging app that thinks of not only about the present, but it has to think about the future. If perfect forward secrecy isn't a threat or whatever, sure. But if it's let's say it's not a threat, why not still implement it? What does it hurt? And then you have to think about funding. Will it exist in 5 years from now? Will it be around 6? Some of my Russian friends use it for ransomware, but I don't know if it's that secure. Yeah. If you got to think, is the developer going to be around for the next 5 years? How do they plan to exit? And what form of encryption do they use? Are they thinking of the future? People shit on Signal because of some arbitrary number thing. The thing is, if you don't give a number that identifies you, i.e. silent link, it doesn't fucking matter then. And it's not necessarily. It's not about the first off. You're getting away from telecom-based SMS that's unencrypted. That's already a W. Second off, you're taking your normie friends and putting them in a more private and secure environment. That's another W. You don't have to tell them about, like, oh, this is super NSA, gay, secret, fucking encrypted balls. It's just good software that respects your privacy, that's free and open source, and secure. It's that simple. It's crazy not to. And then you're not locked into Apple's fucking, what color are your text message, bubble? What color is your bubbles? Which is gay. And if anyone ever talks about the color of your bubbles, you should immediately block them. And then second off, because it's platform agnostic, it allows anyone to communicate with you. It uses data only. They dropped the SMS feature. I know people got super butthurt about it, but it's like, dude, SMS sucks. Why would you want to keep it? It's one thing to keep something that has a good inheritance versus something like down the line versus keeping something that sucks major balls at every point, every point. That's what you have to remember. So my answer really is, do we need another messaging app? Not really. There's a few good out there that do good things for different reasons. I use Signal in my personal life. I think it's the only good messaging app for normies. I use SimpleX through, I guess, because of my YouTube channel, Matrix as well, and XMPP. They all have their advantages, their disadvantages. None is better than the other. But if you're talking about normies and you want to get them away from dog shit SMS and proprietary messaging services that make you fight about what color your texts are, Signal is the best option that we have. It's great. The number thing, whatever. After you give them your number, you can just give out fucking your username. It's not that. It's people are like, we want usernames. We deliver. But you still ask for a number. It's like you can never satisfy anyone in the privacy space. It's fucking retarded. There's still people that swear by PGP. PGP is great, but it has a ton of limitations. it doesn't encrypt the entire mailbox. And I mean, email wasn't built for privacy or security, anyways. But there's so many problems with PGP that it's like, hey, we found something better. We're like, boo! I want it. I want my PGP still. And it's like, all right, whatever, whatever, dude. Sorry, it's like boomer, like privacy nerds are like the biggest boomers ever. Like they're so horny for like staying with something that's 20 years old and unmaintained, or lacking in actually good improvements on the spectrum of privacy and security. The thing is, to answer the broader question is, what is your threat model? What are you trying to protect yourself against? And how can you achieve it? And how you get other people to use it. If you're the only Talks user and you're still using SMS in your daily life, you just achieved nothing. That's the point. Maybe that's the point that I'm trying to get to. Use something where you can get more people to use it that has end-to-end encryption. And that's my take. The more people that use Signal, or the more people that use like end-to-end encrypted messaging apps that actually care about your privacy and actually implement it properly, the better it is. The better it is for society. Like I like the Reculum Network. I like Meshtastic. I like all these cool projects that are out there. But on a fundamental level, a lot of them have very good, if not any, use case. That's my side rant again. Okay. This is actually kind of funny. Holy shit. Sorry, guys, before we go back, this is actually a pretty funny meme. I can't. I cannot. I can't not laugh at that. Sorry for interrupting. Let's just keep going, or else we'll never finish. That's true. Don't be sorry for it. I don't mind people that interrupt. I'll answer any question. I'll now only answer any question only if you donate. YouTube donos only, guys. I'm putting everything behind a paywall now. Live streams, donate. That's how I'll stay on track. Membership, what is it? Live streams, donate. Members only video. I should make a stupid YouTube tier that's unreasonable. I don't know what I would even I gotta do it before I forget. There we go. But we'll get back to the. We're gonna get back. I need to make them different too. Wow, you can have an intro video. kind of crazy. Oh, there it is. Levels. Yeah. Well, there's some crazy prices on here. It's got to be. What is it? I gotta make some. I gotta do some insane meme shit. Oh, it's so out of touch. It hurts. You have to ask for approval. That's crazy. YouTube, you need it. YouTube needs to approve of me asking, begging for e-money. What a fucking stupid. If you think about that, that's so dumb. If I want to, what's a, what's the highest price? $500. $500. It's so fucking stupid. Can I delete this? Yeah. Okay. Remember, you get nothing for giving me more money. You get you give me $50. Thank you. Thank you for. I'll do a thank you for your service meme video. That you can save. You know how like people have those cameos? It'll be like fucking like I don't know like Batman or something. Be like they'll be like, oh thanks. You get 5 big. All right, we got to look at one meme before we lock back in, guys. The ADHD is slightly my fault too. It's like I purposely NixOS sucks, and I hate everyone that thinks it's a good idea. I can't respect anyone that likes NixOS. This would be me, but like this is what I would do.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boo! Boo! Boo!
Like imagine.
Boo!
Like imagine getting that. Five big booms before you guys go. All right. Now that my memes are peak. First off, why would anyone actually buy Trump Mobile? That's like such a weird. That's such a weird thing. It's like a strange thing to want to spend money on. It's crazy. Let me see. I'm gonna see the re-upload live. It's 6 a.m. I think I'm gonna go to smoke a cig and go for a walk. You should. It's good to walk. Not good to smoke cigarettes though. Quit. Quit just to spite yourself. Yeah. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, there we go. All right, background. Back to the topic, guys. That's how it's supposed to be. A cigar. Quit. Me telling people to quit. Six a.m. walks are pretty based, if you think about it. Pink eyes, heart shaped. All right. Side channel attacks exploits a measurable effect, electromagnetic radiation, power consumption, execution time, acoustic signals, or network metadata to infer sensitive information directly Modern CPUs contain a significant amount of shared hardware between cores, making them highly susceptible to a wide range of side channel attacks. One way to obtain metadata on a CPU is to perform a side channel attack is through contention. Competitively shared hardware, such as shared data cache, execution ports, the system bus, and the secular queue, and the micro-op cache can be used to determine victims' activity by measuring through or availability of that hardware in attacker application. Talent Al attacked contention on a PCI bus that is connected to a switch to leak behavior of the other PCI devices. Jang exploited a timing side channel in the F-Sync operations. Liu et al. Exploited a caching time side channel attack in the now discontinued Intel Optane persistent memory. Recently, Giffinger explored content-based side channel attacks on an NVMe SSD, achieving a website fingerprint attack with an F1 score of 78 to 96%. Also, a cache side channel-based SSD HBM cache. Covert channels. A covert channel allows two operating parties to transform in the formation covertly through methods not intended for information transfer, effectively hiding it from unsuspected observer. While covert channels have their own use cases, i.e. transferring your information, they also have useful for determining the maximum leakage rate of a side channel attack. Both the sender and the equivalent of the victim during the attack and the receiver equivalent to the attack whose records records the leak information cooperate, simulating a best case scenario for an attack and therefore providing an upward bound for leakage rate. Covert channels have been studied on various hardware and software compounds, CPU caches, transit execution elements, network effects, page caching, or hard drive contention. Tachos Lte show a thermal-based convert channel on a smart SSDs. Glinshell et al. Exploited SSD contention for colocation detections of an AWS instance. That sounds very expensive. These people seem super cool and unemployed. As they should be. Okay, cool. Solid state drives. Solid state drives store data in the NAND flash chips and deliver significantly higher I/O performance than mechanical hard drives, offering much lower latency than HDDs. Flash memory generally operates at a page granularly, however, erasing resets entire blocks, 32 to 128 pages, is much slower. Each cell endures a limited number of program cycles, so controllers use wear leveling and batch erasers to spread wear. Because wear leveling and other optimization relocate data, SSDs expose a logical address space to the OS that does not match the physical layout. These optimizations also scatter data, and thus SSDs maintain a flash Relation layer, FTL, that maps OS logic pages to physical locations on the SSD that use a hot memory buffer, HMB. This translate the process is also exploitable for side channel attacks. In website fingerprinting attack, an attacker's goal is to determine the websites visited by a user through metadata, i.e., by employing a side channel attack. Extensively research on networks and attackers in the middle observer's network packet. Frost fingerprint remotely using OPF-based timing flow and utilizes traffic analysis to determine the website visited by user. I.e., fingerprint the website even over Tor networks. Similar styles of attacks via network traffic analysis have been used to fingerprint the types of initiated word connections, applications used on an end device, operating system, and CPU model, or a browser used to fit the web pages. In recent years, side channels on computers have been shown to fingerprint websites, applications, and physical peripherals on user systems. Prior to work browser storage access. Oh. I'm back. How's it illegal? I'm back. How's it illegal to XMR though? It just is, man. I would never own Monero. It's illegal. Look, I don't know all the laws of the internet. Oh, so you're, I bet my SEC can track my internet activity and yours can't. I don't know if that's a good bet. Oh, you're trolling. Isn't it gay how all the centralized exchanges have essentially blacklisted? I think it makes sense. Think about it. Monero's ability to be private and the fact that it can't be broken yet makes it a financial risk. And this is what I'm saying. Centralized exchanges are no different than the banks. They're the enemy. Centralized exchanges will always follow whatever law of whatever country they're in. This is why the dark markets or the black markets or the swaps or whatever exist, because and their pure existence is based on the fact that centralized exchanges will kneel to the governments of their countries, of course, because they are a business. This isn't crazy. I'm not even shocked. And you're a financial risk. Yeah. I don't know where your money came from. This is why, like, I don't care if you want to call them Dex, like Wagyu and hyper gay liquid. They can suck my balls. They are no better than the centralized exchange. All this talk about how these centralized exchanges, they're like, guys, we figured out how to make a DEX and it's the same and there's liquidity and fuck you. You suck. And no one should like you. Monero can stand on its own 2 feet with 2 simple principles. I can sell stuff for Monero. I can do stuff for Monero. And people are like, but where do you buy it? Mine it. Sell stuff for it. Have a skill and trade it for Monero. Then you don't need to rely on these shitty exchanges that do not care about you, that will be frozen, that will be attack surface, that will go out of their way to pay people in order to spread the product. It's retarded. Monero has never and will never need an ecosystem that relies on some arbitrary fucking swap, arbitrary idea where it's, guys, we're decentralized. It's a risk. It always has been, and it always will be. Shareholder value, baby. You heard it. That's what you need. And it is. All these sects that are like paying out at age 50, you should have at least 60 Monero. Oh man, Evil Dojo, he's getting there. The owners of local Monero shut down like a year probe from similar. Yeah, there's a reason they shut down. They either have immense pressure, they have immense legal pressure, they have a huge operating cost. Revno literally fucking had a hack. Thorchain got we're decentralized, got their balls hacked. I don't care if people are like, but. Wagyu is literally a pile of shit that's just paying people to shill their fucking shit idea. You don't need all the look. Find a swap your Monero, hold it. Simple. Or spend it. Set up a Monero miner in North Texas, natural gas mine. Yeah, mine Monero, mine it, sell stuff for Monero. Instead of, I wish I could vibe my way into the Uber Eats, the DoorDash for Monero. That would be great. So people could get their fucking Crunchwrap Supreme delivered to them, and Monero's economy continues to circulate. Monero's ability to exist in a circular economy is what gives its value. I will trade 6 of my chickens for 5 Monero because your 5 Monero is worth 6 of my chickens, and then they can make their chickens, they can have their eggs, and they can sell their eggs for Monero. That's the point. That's the point of the circular economy. That's what makes it better. I've never used Monero to swap any swap besides Kraken. Yeah, I mean, not ideal, but I mean, at least they didn't at least they didn't. I don't know if Kraken even allowed. They do. I think they walked back their idea. There's a few swaps I use, and to be honest, they work. Yeah, I've never used Tradorcore, Trocador. I've used a couple of swaps. I actually used a really sick exchange that I liked. But I haven't. They require you to make an account, and it's more work. There's a swap I use that works. There's a few swaps I use that work, and people are complaining like, your stuff is frozen. Stuff can get frozen. Don't put more money into a swap than you are willing to lose. It's not that deep. It's not that difficult to understand. It's like any investment. If you're not willing to lose it, then do a small amount. Do small amounts. Make 30 swaps. Who cares? You're going to spend fractions of a penny to swap. You know what I mean? And oh no, you have to wait a couple of days. Swap Monero consistently every couple of days so that you can make sure you're using sub-addresses, so you can make sure that you're not doing any financial correlation attack. You're making sure that your funds aren't going to get fucking sucked into, a black hole. It's not that difficult. Oh no, guys, boo-hoo! I have to use a swap 3 to 4 times. Uh-oh. Like it's like, dude, no shit. Chill. It's not that deep. You're already probably fucking screen maxing at your job anyways. There's no better swap than they all, in my opinion, they all suck. But the fact that they exist and we can use them is great. In a sense. Like, it's great that I can just go swap Bitcoin Lightning for Monero. That's the only one that I even remotely do. Because it's the only one that's fast enough. To set up a full Monero node, use Ledger to hold your Monero on a hardware wallet, then hack Chinese websites and install Monero miners on them. See? Eva Dojo understands shareholder value. The rule number 1 on my channel is shareholder value. What are you providing? And you should run your own Monero node. Running your own Monero node is super easy. Oh yeah, like mother and daughter captives, Bitcoin people. The thing is, Bitcoiners are so horny to tell everyone they have how much Bitcoin they have, and don't even realize that Bitcoin is public. You don't passive income for the win, for real. I always say fuck the world for some reason. I don't know why. Evil Dojo 666 is the next Gary V of Monero. Guys, you have to have social media presence. You got to be posting 8 times a day. I would kill myself if I was Gary V, to be completely honest. I don't care how much money he has. I'd be sick. I'd be sick because of how like out of touch. I think all financial gurus are out of touch. They're always the most out of touch people. They're always like, guys, what are you doing? Is the Julian Newman of Monero community? I don't know who that is. Maybe I should know, but I don't. I need to get some water. I've only read a handful about crypto, Bitcoin, Trezor, Monero. Algorand is fucking retarded. Like Bitcoin's Tezos is fucking retarded too. All these like fucking like other coins, like they don't solve anything. They honestly don't solve anything deep in the crypto space. They just don't. I think I got notifications to work. Yep, I got notifications to work finally. Based. Staking is interesting. I like passive income. Also, Tezos actually solves a protocol upgrade problem in a clear way. Staking doesn't work out because you have to have node. Staking doesn't work, and I'll explain why. The math behind blockchain is generally interesting. Tezos is an actual improvement on Bitcoin. It would be cool to see Monero plus staking. But where would the money come from? What would be the purpose of staking? If staking worked, Ethereum would have been, a 500x coin by now. Proof of stake. If it worked, Ethereum is a clusterfuck. They're apparently going to go find a way to do it private. I mean, just look at the all-time. Staking doesn't work. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You can't have staking and have people take it serious where they're going to see a return. These percentages that they're telling you they're going to return are fucking ludicrous. They're like, you stake and you get 45% back. Where's it coming from? Is that not putting more of the coin in circulation, thus creating a higher supply? And again, if the demand isn't there, it's going to tank it. I mean, a simple... Monero is the way that Monero takes its... Sure, just print more dollars. Yeah, it's literally... I mean, that's all it is. It's just print more dollars. Monero is a finite system, but it does it through tail emissions that rewards the miners based on a fee market. Meaning that if the fee market increases, miners are rewarded due to fees increasing. They thought about it. It sounds cool when you're like, oh, I can earn 12% back on my money. But if no one is accepting Tezos, it doesn't fucking matter. You should read Kaspa's. Oh my god, please, no more Kaspa. Yeah, that's what I remembered. Does Monero have a fixed limit coin like Bitcoin? No, it's not fixed. Bitcoin has a limit. Monero doesn't. Monero has a finite supply. A infinite supply, technically. Oh my god, guys. Kaspa mentioned. Everyone throw their hands up. Kaspa changed everything. Kaspa sounds cool on paper, but it's like, dude, they didn't solve it. They don't actually solve... Look, even if Kaspa is like $80 million next year, it's like, cool. People are just fucking... It's a real-time decentralized... Yeah, it's something to do with like... And they find a way to incorporate... I think it's Rust. It's based on Rust. It's out of Jerusalem, guys. Can't do it anymore. Wait, Monero is... Yeah. Monero doesn't have a cap supply. We have to look at... You have to look at fucking tail emissions, but... It's guaranteed network security. Unlike Bitcoin, where miners are incentivized to heavily shift to transaction fees over time, Monero provides predictable baseline income for the miners. This prevents the network from becoming unstable and transaction drops. Because Bitcoin's supply is finite, meaning that it has an end date, it's not infinite. Bitcoin, people will race to the end to mine Bitcoin as fast as possible. This creates mining versus staking is just a question of how transactions are secured. Staking incentives, holding coins, mining incentives using CPU. Yeah. But look at all the projects that have staking where people are locked up for a period of time. You don't know where the project is going to go. You don't know where not only the project is going to go, you don't know if that project's cryptocurrency and value is going to be sold in a sense where you can easily take it and liquidate it. If the liquidation is harder to actually achieve than it is to actually where you're staking for a locked period of time. I've staked. I was in the whole like Ethereum staking phase. Imagine locking your staking fees for a fucking year and the coin goes up to 500% and then fucking drops. You can't sell it. It's staked. It's locked up. That's the point. The locking period is a scam. It's to lock people into a ecosystem where you don't know where the price. Crypto moves at a such fast rate. You don't know where it's going to go. You might as well just put your shit into like a 401k or like a Roth IRA or anything, or a bond or something where you know it's going to go. Not every staking coin has a lockup period, but all the major ones do. You know what I mean? And even if they don't have a locking period, you're rewarded to XYZ to hold the coin. They don't work out. What's the top coins right now? I'm not a fan of staying with lockup, but that's why I like Algorand and Tezos. But look at Tezos' performance in Algorand. Their performance is terrible. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether. Tether's terrible. Tether's a fucking honeypot. XRP is garbage. I'm not a fan of Tron's been fucking 34 cents forever. Hyperliquid, $65. Doge, Stellar, XLM. Everyone talks about, they're like, XLM is gonna be the next fucking, like, you don't know. We don't know. Cardano solves a lot of, like, Cardano's used in, like, the voting aspect. They use it in a lot of, like, voting coins. Bitcoin Cash, Content, remember Chainlink, guys? Chainlink was supposed to solve Chainlink was supposed to solve something. It was like they have a good thing. That said, I fucked around with Algorand's shit coins and stuff and liquidity pools, and the smart contracts got hacked and several $1 million were stolen. I held some XLM in 26, which I held. Fuck Cardano. Charles Hawkins is actually based. He loves Monero, and he builds in Haskell. Haskell based. Yeah, fuck Chainlink. But Chainlink's idea is actually good. When you read the white paper, it sounds good. It sounds good on paper, but it doesn't mean it's good. Then you have Litecoin. Tron is made by the guy who made BitTorrent, and Torrent is based. But he's also, I think, Chinese. I'm just not a fan. I'm just kidding. Stellar is like number 11. Where is Near? The Near protocol, guys. Near is supposed to be, you know what I mean? I can just watch like the Coin Bureau. Actually, everyone that liked gold should have invested into Pax Gold. They followed gold. Uniswap, Okibay, Ripple, USD, Sky, Pi. Pi was a fucking scam. Pepe the Frog. Yeah, if you look at even the top 10, Doge, Hyperliquid, Tron, Solana. Solana is literally a fucking AWS server. I used Padcar for PDF generation for my resume as well as to generate my website. And Paddoc is made by Haskell, which is why I thought Cardano might be cool. But nah, gay as fuck. Yo, fuck you, man. Haskell based. Charles Hoskinson was part of the Ethereum project. I mean, he worked with. When you actually watch him in interviews, he's a pretty sensible person when it comes to like decentralization. Solana is just fucking dog shit, and it's still like people are like Solana's the next one, guys, and it's just a bunch of AWS servers. Like the Solana going outage meme is like too real. Yo, fuck BNB though. Binance Chain. All my homies hate Binance Chain. Zcash. Monero's in like the top 15, but it might be actually really in the top 10. Paddock. Solana has hope as Ethereum alt because it reduces transaction fees. The transaction fees is something that people always bring up, but transaction fees in Monero are pretty small. Ethereum Below is too expensive. Well, I mean, this is my thing, man. Finance even worth talking about? Yeah, you can. So transaction fees are constantly among the lowest in the crypto market. This is the average cost to send Monero. Sometimes I'll get into about 10 cents. Not even what is it? Yeah, Monero is nice and cheap to transfer like Algorand. But there's no privacy benefit to Algorand and Tezos. You have zero privacy. It's public. I remember Algorand. Algo, a carbon negative layer 1 blockchain designed for speed and security and decentralized finance, founded by MIT professional Superballs. But remember, all these fuckers care about price. It's not looking good, dog. It was $1, and it is not looking good. Correct. Algorand and Tezos are not private chains. So why put all of Monero doesn't even need staking. I mean, I'm just looking at it from, if you look at the last, let's say, a year, Monero's price is up 24% year to date. No staking, all private. If you would have put $100 in $300, you would have been obviously up way more. You would have been, if you would have put $100 and you would have sold $300, you would have sold in fucking January. Bam! You can't measure a price performance without remembering the COVID money. Even with COVID money, some of these projects have been around for this launched in 2019. Check the price again 20 years when we are closer to the end of Bitcoin mining life. Bitcoin's price is completely manipulated, though. The manipulation, Bitcoin's price is only that high because it's public and it's manipulated, and it's very easy to manipulate. There's no other reason why Bitcoin is worth $73,000. You have whales buying it. Why wouldn't, if I was a whale, why wouldn't I buy $10,000, $20,000 worth of Algorand? I could spike the price. Well, now it is. I mean, BlackRock Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's, I mean, it's because they realize Bitcoin's an easily manipulated currency. And because it's an easily manipulated currency, it has its value, in my opinion, has dropped. The price has increased, but the value of Bitcoin, where it actually has a reason to hold, is pretty laughable. But you have like stuff like Algo. I mean, like, I've been in the crypto space longer than I have been in the Monero space. All these coins say they have a solution to XYZ, but the solution doesn't matter. And we can say, like, well, now, of course, and then if 20 years you're right, you just really just made a good guesstimate. Just like if in 20 years I'm wrong, I'm right, and like, oh, they're just dead projects. That's very, I mean, remember, do you know what ICP is? ICP was like the craziest idea. ICP is is Internet Computer, the frontier of computer platform. It sounds cool. It sounds base. It's sovereign internet cloud for AI that builds. These fuckers have been around for an insane amount of time, and nobody cares. It's crashed quite a lot. And everyone's going to say, these sites are all going to be like, bullish, 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 bullish. Pi is another one of them. Pi was a coin that was, I was around people that were like relatively crypto. Bitcoin was mostly anonymous in the beginning. It wasn't until Coinbase KYC Lightning. It was pseudo-anonymous, but the problem with Bitcoin is that public ledger is always going to been a way to, on the term of fungibility, Bitcoin can always be dirty. It doesn't matter if I know you or not. The KYC part is not good. But if I see a wallet and that wallet comes into my shop and the Lightning protocol is technically a more private way of doing it, but it's not as private as everyone makes it out to be. You have to run your own node, and then you have to do a few other things. RIP Tornado Coin Tumblr, RIP Silk Road. But that's the thing. You have to have all these third parties in order to achieve privacy. You are adding extra steps and third parties to create a less transparent coin that was the intention of it to be transparent. That's the problem. And yeah, rip the Silk Road. But my argument is, and my problem is, even if I don't know you, even if I don't know it's Evo Dojo on the other side as identity, that Bitcoin can be considered dirty, because I can follow the blockchain of that entire transaction history back to XYZ. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who this is, but this wallet has done some things that I don't agree with. This wallet has spent money with, Chick-fil-A. This Rip John McAfee, Rip Whacked. Oh yeah, I forgot about Whacked. Rip X. This wallet has done something that I don't agree with politically. I know it was sent to another wallet, and that wallet was used with a person that we know is public. It's the problem is the transparent ledger makes Bitcoin. Whatever happened to the Ethereum coin? Probably got fucking dumped. Most crypto is scam. I mean, look at this. Top boosted. I've never heard of any of these coins. 40% of Bitcoin holders are in red. Could a 2020 be running? Yeah, Bitcoin is a Chinese credit score. You could say that it is. And even with these, again, even if I'm returning 10 to 15% of, this is where people don't understand finance. If I'm returning 10 to 15% APY, or let's say they don't lock up, I'm earning 10%. If my coin is crashing 15% year over day, I'm not making money. I'm really big into investing, and there's a lot of dividend stocks that people will put their money in, and they'll be losing on the year-to-date return. It doesn't matter how much you're staking. When you're losing on the front end and your stock is tanking, you have to adjust and sell those assets off to stocks that, even though they have a less dividend rate or maybe a less percentage in return, if it's not losing against inflation, and if it's not tanking, then you quite literally are saving yourself, the buco bucks. I can have 100% dividend. You earn 100% dividend a year, but the stock loses $8 to $10 a month, or $100 a year. Say it's $1,000. If I'm losing $100 a year, it doesn't fucking matter how much I'm earning on it. It's that a lot of people get sucked into those yield maxing, those yield maxing like stuff. Yield maxing is like you're earning 20% interest on your money every year, but it's losing $5 to $10 a day or something crazy. So like because you're losing all this stock value, you're not making money. You're losing money because they have a high interest and people are like, oh, I'm getting this high yield. I'm sexy. I'm my tits are growing or something. You're like based. And then you realize you're like, I'm actually not. I'm losing money every year because I'm not. You have to know when to cut your losses. AT&T was like one of the best it was like a dividend fucking accredited super dividend fucking investor because they were 7%. But AT&T was losing money and they cut their dividend every fucking year. So putting your money in AT&T was fucking retarded. Even though they're paying 7%, which is above average, by the way, just for the literate investors. For the people that are super locked in on the idea of you're better off taking your money and putting in a fucking bond with the government, the U.S. government, or a treasury bond, than you are putting with these. But if you want to say fuck the system, you might as well put your money in fucking Monero because it's earned 20% over the last 12 months. You just got to forget about it. You got to put your money in the Monero and just forget that it exists, or spend it as its intentions. But I got to grab one more El Birre. How do you say beer in Chinese, Evil Dojo? That's what I really want to know. In Chinese, it's Piju. Yo, what's up, man? It's Piju. It in Japanese, it's I know Japanese, it's Biru. I know I know slight Japanese. I tried learning it fluently. I'm not fluent, but there's a lot of words I can pick up and listen to and understand. Japanese is my favorite language to listen to. I listened to a lot. Did you see my Claude Mythos is based actually super cool. I think it's Biru is not hiragana, it's katakana because it doesn't exist. It's using borrowed language in because I don't think beer technically exists in China Japanese. It's one of the borrowed words. I know there's a select amount of and I know a lot of people that are do I have to learn all 10,000, 20,000 kanji? Or in whatever amount of kanji out there is. No. Not even the Japanese now. But from what I do understand is kind of cool so Japan didn't have its own language. Japan borrowed. Well, the first language of Japan was it starts with a W. Japan stole the writings of the Chinese kanji, and then I think it was called like what? It started with a W. Somebody give me some Japanese knowledge real quick. It started with a W. Is like they originally had something with a W. They didn't have their own written language. That written language turned into kanji, and then you have obviously hiragana, katakana, and then romanji. Romanji is just the English romanization of Japanese. It's not really a thing, besides for foreigners. And then, it's kind of like Chinese. Started with it started with a W. There was a before katakana, hiragana. Well, before hiragana, katakana, and kanji, the Japanese had a weird spoken language, and then they didn't have their own writing language. God, I gotta look it up. No. Or maybe it was this. Ryukin and Hokkaidoan. I'm pretty knowledgeable in Japanese and I'm having trouble thinking of what you're thinking of. I watched a person talk about it. Kanji did come from China first, yes. Existed before hiragana and katakana. I thought there was something that they spoke before they spoke, check the original language of the Enu. Okawana specific? Oh, okay. Maybe it was Ryukin languages. Maybe I thought W. I thought it was like like Wukan or something stupid sounding, like something dumb. Ryukin is. I thought it was something with a W. I'm retarded, so I might have just made up the W part. But I thought there was an older writing system that started with a W. He, me, ke. I think it's like, yeah. E is pronounced e. He, me, ko, so, to, no, mo, yo, ro. Man, this one's gonna hurt. I might have made up an entire W part. But the real question is, Evil Dojo, is do you have good pitch accent? Because I don't. I know there's Tokyo Flat. I believe that's I believe Tokyo Flat is where they don't care. Japanese pronunciation overlaps with Spanish. If you can speak Spanish, you can speak. Oh wow, I did not know that. That's actually based. Mandarin is fucked up though. Yeah, because I think Mandarin is actually tone specific. So like if your tone is off from the words, just like I believe Korean's the same way. Chinese, like Mandarin, is tone specific, and because it's tone specific, the Kasani dialect the most. Yeah, I believe that the tone dictates the word. Like like I know people say people say konnichiwa flat. Like they say it flat, very flat, but you're supposed to like emphasize a pitch accent on the ni. I watched a huge thing on pitch accents and I saw a debate. Duolingo understands my Mandarin, but I had a lot of anxiety about tones growing up. If you're foreign, you're not going to have a standard. There's actually a good debate you should probably watch. I'm going to put it on screen. I'm pretty monotonic when I'm nerding out. Yeah, konichi, like you're supposed to have like a tone. So these two people, I wonder if it's still. Yeah, I can't do that. George from Japanese from Zero Trombley discusses with Matt. Yeah, this is actually a really good debate. They have like a debate about tone dialect. They have a debate about tone dialect because George is from Japan. Not from Japan. Yo, if you like Japanese, man, I got something funny as fuck. I will watch. George actually, his like wife's Japanese. He's been to Japan. He's been teaching Japanese for like 20 plus years. Matt from Japan, learned Japan. Look up real Japan. It's a legitimate funny. I gotta do that. But I think most of the younger people, I think most of the people actually, I will load up a dab now. I think most of the people in modern like language, like Japanese language, they actually don't use tone dialects like they do. Like Tokyo flat is the I believe the term they use. It's very common. Like tone dialects isn't as foreigners will never hold you to a standard that they hold for their own people. Like if you're learning Arabic, if you're learning German, they're not gonna fucking trip on you because you trip up on a word in a tone dialect. Tone dialect is crazy. But in Chinese, it's not they'll trip up on you. They might not understand what you say. There are some very strict languages where the tone of that specific language actually prevents you from. Tokyo dialect is standard. Yeah. Tokyo flat. I've always been told it's called Tokyo flat, but Tokyo is flat. Yeah, Tokyo dialect is standard. Like, it's not, from what I understand, it's not, like, the tone of it doesn't matter as much. No, I got made fun of in high school for German class. Well, that's because you're white. And white people like to make fun of white people. Well, I mean, I don't even think German has a tone. German has a grammar problem. Like, the biggest problem, from what I understand, is not German's grammar, like, tone, is German's grammar. Like, German's grammar is fucking insane. I had, someone that I was, like, I knew, like, I was taught Southern German in 9th grade and 10th grade. In 11th grade, I was taught Berlin German, but I was made fun of for speaking German hillbilly. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. But because foreigners should never hold you to the standards of like a native speaker. That's retarded. Each versus eek. But German has so many fucking. Do you know what the four hats are? Like if you're proficient in German, do you know what the four hats is? Because I've asked German speakers what is the four hats, and they have a stroke telling me. I sold my wife internet connection. Code emerges because we mentioned German, guys. But the crazy thing is, like, tattoos in Japan is still fucking hated. Four hats. I don't know. I gotta bring this up. This is before I watch this. Each have each Schwartz. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I know each habi in each leave foosball. I think that's something football. Spain no check the leftmost. My mother used words sounding like so how Germans use the hats in popular idioms. So from what I understand, the four hats is the four hats in German is something to do with like possession and like the sentence structure of grammar of there. It's like the American version of there and there. It's a possession thing, and this is from what I German hats. No, that's not it. Mean duscht ist nicht so gut. Something good. I took German in high school. Oh, okay. I know das isn't ich liebe gehen ins Kino. I don't know. From what I understand, like a lot of German words, you can read it and it will be the pronunciation of it. Yeah, it's something. The four cases, not the four. It was pronounced. It means I like to go to the cinema. Okay. The four cases is I was presented this as called the four hats, but the four cases. Ever wonder why it's dear computer and sentences, but den computer and others? I'll look up the hat thing sometimes. Surprised I was never taught it. It's something that, from what I understand, you automatically know, but you can't explain it. It is a grammar thing. It's something to do with like the gender of the sentence structure, like this. Genitive case. Yeah. From what I understand, my friend that speak German fluently, they called it the four hats. I believe it's got probably a numeratical, like numerous of things. But why it's der computer in sometimes sentences, but it's den computer in others, or why some rates der Stimmungen. I forgot German though. It's a nominative case, an accusative case, a dative case, a genitive case. The noun has a relationship with possession, for whom, receives, platforms. I've talked to German, I would say German linguistics, and I also took Japanese for the waifus, but I forgot that too. That's what a person that knows it still says they forget. Yeah, it's something to do with like I've talked to like people that like study like language as like German people that study language, like their own language as a possessive state, and I'm like. They're like, oh, this is what it is, but I can't explain it. There's a lot of rules in other languages, and they're like, I can't explain it, but this is what it is. Like, I don't understand it, but like, why does jalapenos look like that? Lamo, same at code. I wanted to learn Japanese because I wanted to like see anime stuff without fucking subtitles. It wasn't for the waifus. Japanese women don't like white guys unless you're like tall, super tall, super white, and super blonde. You have to be like the most generic white guy. Though it is crazy to know that because they were talking. You guys were you were Evo Dojo was talking about Spanish and Japanese. The most German thing I can do is now chug a beer. I can watch anime with anime and so subs. Oh, with oh, that's cool. You can learn. There's that linguistics that no subs based. You can definitely learn a language. You just gotta be immersed in it. You have to care. I'm super short and super fat and super ginger. Code's Irish, everyone. Confirmed. Maybe it was Japan's. Classical Chinese. Damn. But unless you're like immersed in any language, like immersion is like the easiest way to learn a language. But that is the debate of Matt Jip versus Japan. Oh, I love this person. She's funny. She's the meme, guys. I kind of look like Richard Stallman for real. It's kind of funny. Seeing the video of him doing the Soldier Boy is kind of crazy. I'm shorter than the average Japanese. That's crazy. You guys need to. What happens when you can't speak English in New York? You guys need to get your height up and not your funny up. Japanese easier than I thought. Okay, let's see.
It's okay in Japanese. 大丈夫. How about like I'm good? Also 大丈夫. How about no thanks? 大丈夫. How about that works? 大丈夫. No problem. 大丈夫. Don't worry. 心配すんな. Oh, I thought you were gonna say or 大丈夫. How do you say it's okay in Japanese?
Well, Japanese is. Yo, where'd the browser go? I don't know. Japanese is contextual. It's a contextual based language. There's a lot of context that's involved. I mean, you could say any language is contextual based, but like Japanese is very contextual based. Like how you talk to your superior. That's the same thing with German though. How you talk to your elders, your superiors over the phone, what time of day is. I mean, there's a lot of internal. In America, like we're like, oh, good afternoon. You're good now? In America, you're like, oh, good afternoon. And if your boss calls, you're like, what up, retard? You know, that would never fly in Japan. The odds of like that flying is just very little to no. Like America speaks a lot of slang. We have a very multicultural, diverse way of speaking. What I say in my area of the state might be disrespectful. Japanese has at least 3 levels of politeness. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Like if I were to introduce myself to Evo Dojo, I'd be like, "Konnichiwa, Yonegash, yeah, Kigo, yeah." It'd be like it would be my name, like Frank Tomoshimasu Yonegai Oshimasu or something. Like it would be Hajime. No, so God, it's been a minute. Hajime Maste Onegai Yoshimasu. I have no superiors. I bend the knee for the no man. Put your knees. It would be like like it would be like koni, like depending on the time of the day. Watashi no name wa Dijo des dozo yonagai yon yorshi. Oh yeah, it's yeah. Watashi no name wa Evil Dojo des dozo yonagai onigai shimasu. Yeah, you would never say that again. I would never say that again to Evil Dojo because it would be fucking weird. Because the translation of it is like, "Hi, my name is Evil Dojo. It's nice to meet you." There's no actual English translation for Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. It's like, please be nice to me though. That's like the easiest translation of it. Is like, hey, can we be nice to each other? Have a nice day. Like it's kind of like saying, have a nice day. Yeah, yeah. Watashi no name wa no name wa Iwa Dojo des. You don't pronounce the U. The U is silent, which is kind of it fucks people up. Dozo, I forget what dozo means. Dozo is like, and then yoroshiku onegai shimasu is like the U is silent in a lot of Japanese, which is cool because it allows you to. The English translation is going forward is my wish for you. Yeah, yeah, to accept me. I've heard different translations. Like there, it's kind of like I've learned other languages. Like this is like the best way forward of explaining it, and this is like the easiest way to translate it to like English. The ending is you isn't strictly silent. You can absolutely omit it. I thought you was I thought the U is silent and it is omitted because it doesn't make sense to add it. Like desu. Well, actually, watashi no name wa I have old Japanese culture presentations still on YouTube on my old channel. In all Japanese Yakuza movies, they all say Yaru. No, like not like you is silent every context, but I've thought that the presentations are almost 20 years old. Dark Mage X6. What up, brother? Yeah, it's Des and Desu. 24 subs, guys. Let's get the subs up, not the funny up. Dark Mage Omelet, 20 years ago. This man saw YouTube before. You need to Cicada 2006. You need to bring the YouTube back, man.
Well, like almost 7 a.m. My grandma. I'm getting ready to go into the
This is the most Midwestern 2006 2006 video ever. Open up a poll: politeness, gay or based? Politeness based.
trip. I think we should go investigate.
Oh man, this is based.
Hey guys, yeah, the 4chan party man is on that.
But the chin strap says everything. Rip mama, rip grandma. But it's forever on the internet, which is based.
We're all going like 80, so
For some reason, 125, 30 people watch this. Oh no, a copyright strike. Midwestern, that's Florida. Yeah, but it's the most Midwestern thing to do. Is Florida not west in the west? is Florida not on the west side? It's kind of
More lovely. Stop at gas station.
oh god, the fucking mutton chops.
Final stretch.
This is the most 2009 thing ever. This looks like a Honda Civic. Is this a Honda Civic?
I'm outside of Houston, and I'm in between Houston and San Antonio, basically. Let me go ahead and hook all my shit up while I do.
I was deep in the Dance Revolution community back then. Texas is the Midwest, though. What is the resolution? What is the resolution of this, though? 240p? I can't go any higher. Goddamn. Let's see. What's the peak? Man, I missed that car. Pontiac Sunfire. Boo! 9K. Oh, okay.
One-Winged Angel with Dark Mage, Evil Dave.
Wu-Tang 69. That's funny. Play my one. I'm gonna get a copyright. I'm gonna get a copyright strike from this. Oh man, that's funny. What's the something about omelets? Pull up that video of Richard Stallman rampages against Ubuntu in the earth. Me falling and bum rushing. 23 seconds. This is a man that I made the slime file they're playing on. Oh, sim file. This is a man that that has had at least one Captain Morgan inside him. And he has health insurance. I was very drunk in that bum rushing. Yeah. Captain Morgan and it looks like Captain Morgan and health insurance. I'm a world-class hacker, by the way. This is pretty funny. That hoodie. Anyone who wears a white hoodie has definitely. But like this was like probably like peak YouTube when YouTube was about people making content based around just very random and I would say like kind of like unscripted perspective on the internet that was more entertaining than fucking watching someone do a deep dive and do like 50 hours of editing. Like I would rather watch an hour of 20 seconds of me falling and bum rushing than watching a person that fucking puts 50 hours into their thumbnail for a 10-minute video. It's just not, YouTube is not like the same anymore. I sound like a boomer, but, you know. Chicagoland? Wow. These seats look uncomfortable. Editing is such a pit. Yeah. Editing is super gay. If you put, like, the point of YouTube was to be you, the user. And it sounds cool because like, oh, we have Holly level, like we have like Holly level wood of type of content. I don't want fucking Hollywood level content on YouTube. I want haha funny. I want haha funny and haha based. What's this?
Don't worry, Lou. I don't care what any of you say.
Caden Live Baby. We drive by R. Kelly's house. The Chicago trip was based. That's funny. Oh no, copyright strike immediate. Why do you have so many songs with copyright strikes in here? Under the Sky 7K screen. What's the oldest? Coated Arms 7K Hands. I don't know if you have 7K. I Sing Dave Chappelle's Piss on you in front of it. Hidden Live. I don't know if you have 7K hands. I thought you had one.
I will just settle first. Oh, you filming this shit? Oh man, can I hard clip it? I don't think so.
This is peak. I was top 50 US Beatman IIDX player. What does that even mean? That means I got no bitches. I don't even think I got into the top 50 for anything. I got in the top 50 of fucking your moms. 7K was the difficulty of the chart. That was the game I'm playing. Oh. That's kind of funny. I never got into DDR5 because I was too busy having sex with women. Wow. DDR. Let's see if we can find. I used to play Quake and sniff glue with Elon Musk. You know what, Code? I believe you. Old YouTubers. Well, we're just gonna get fucking slop. My favorite is to go. The only YouTube feature that I like is shit like this.
Hi, it's Dan here. I just wanted to let everyone know that this is my official YouTube channel, and this is my...
DDR got you chicks if you were good at it, man. Okay, where's your wife and kid now? Yeah, I can only imagine the comments on this were like a bunch of gooners. Fred. Yeah. Like, this was like peak YouTube. 18 years ago. Why aren't you Fred, man? Shut the fuck. You have DDR, but I wasn't that good. You have DDR, brother, but you don't have a wife or kid. Checkmate, atheist. But you lie. That's the point. You don't tell women the truth. You tell them you lie. You lie. You're like, oh yes, I was the best. That's why when you go to another state, you just tell them like, hey, I'm the best in my state. No one's ever gonna fact check you. You'd be like, yeah, man, I'm the best. I'm the best Florida, like ball sacker. Like, I know how to hit some major balls in Florida. I'm the only one that knows how to kick some balls in Florida. No one's gonna be like, who is the best? You know what I mean? Guys, who is the best ball sacker in Florida? No one. This is pretty peak, actually.
I don't think I know anything about women. I need some advice. Wish my dad was here. Dad, what do you think I should do?
I wish John Cena was my dad so that I could, like... so he could do this.
It's ruthless aggression.
It is?
You gotta look at yourself and say, my time is now. Show what kind of man you really are.
I feel like John Cena... I am the best Florida Miss Swamp racer. I don't think John Cena owned a shirt, to be completely honest.
Risa and I'm going to review at the Geek Bar Pause. The flavor is Mighty Max.
This is peak.
Okay, cheers.
They probably turned off, like, the comments because they're like, I can't handle the bullying. That's how you know you got bullied so hard that you can't handle internet critique. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the critique to be so real that I turn off the If I ever turn the comments off, guys, it's because the critique was too real, and I never will. They're probably like, "Give me the suck, lady." The internet's horny. That's what it really is.
It's a really good flavor. I really like this flavor. Nice and sweet. Let me see if I can taste the mint.
Shane Gillis says Down syndrome people love John Cena. I might have Down syndrome then, I guess. I probably got the Down syndrome, brother. John Cena is pretty based. It's pretty funny. My supervillain intro is kind of crazy. I like finding, like, niched, like, internet people. Like, they should only have, like, 6 views. That's my favorite. Because it's funny. Why does every bald person resort to this? They always smoke and they always have this house layout. Maybe I just don't like one too many budgies. I like John Cena. Oh my God, Chinese John Cena is actually... The fact that John Cena knows Chinese is actually pretty funny. I heard his Chinese is actually good. People have like critiqued it. They're like based John Cena, guys. Kind of based, actually.
You want the Chinese version? I'll give you that too. 我有金有奶，我是冠军，我永远不放弃。Let the Rock tell you in Chinese. Uh-oh. Chinese. 金榜叮当 is Stone Cold
That's kind of crazy because like the WWE is gonna sue me. Guys, remember Taiwan. Gotta get that Chinese money. I like. Remember, guys, Taiwan's not a country in China's eyes. So if you speak Chinese, you can't use the word Taiwan. Oh, I gotta see this.
Mandarin was my first language, but when I started elementary school, I spoke English. So like I would mix English and Chinese, and no one could understand me. Yeah. So my mom stopped speaking it to me, and I forgot most of it, but I can still count, but my pronunciation's not very good.
I tried learning Chinese and like, I spoke to someone fluent in it, and they made fun of me.
Oh. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. What'd you think? Is it bad?
At least you got it. I can like tell what you're saying.
At least you got it,
But
she says.
But the pronunciation is really bad.
Wait, say.
See? Tone dialect, man. The Chinese are fucking tone dialect police. You got it. That's all that matters.
John Cena, Mandarin. Speaking at a his.
By the way, what's your name?
I'll never get past the John Cena Chinese meme.
If you know John Cena, you will know his videos speaking Chinese. If you watch his videos speaking Chinese, you will know how to say 我很喜欢冰淇淋. If you know how to say 我很喜欢冰淇淋, you will know how to say 我很喜欢旅游. 我很喜
Damn him. Damn him. Damn him and his Chinese. But what you also guys need to know is... Oh, okay.
Have you watched this video?
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
This is the Bing Chilling meme, which was created by John Cena in 2021. Did you know that John Cena recreated it again in 2022? Here it is.
早上好，中国！现在我有。
But do you know also what John Cena created? He created an ending to the video. And he also created me going to bed. If you don't learn to speak Chinese, you will be cursed by John Cena coming into your room and playing with your feet. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. And most importantly, I want you to comment below in your native language what your favorite type of ice cream is. Do it in Japanese. Do it in India. I don't care. Even if you speak Ohioan. Ohioan is short for Ohioan. Ohio people aren't real. And neither are Florida people. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure that you also subscribe to the $50 platform. If you don't, 500 years of curses. You get nothing more, and you will be super based and super cool. You can tell your friends that you spent $50 on a YouTuber. Super cool. And I will see you guys in the next video.